くりレ夢ムです。
ゆっくりマリサだぜ。
Hi, Raimu Marissa. Hey guys. The question that reveals who you really are.
ゆっくりしていってね。
Section 1. Hook a runaway trolley is speeding down a track. Ahead of it, 5 people are tied to the rails. They can't move. They can't escape. In seconds, the trolley will hit them and kill all 5. You're standing next to a lever. Pull it, and the trolley diverts onto a side track, where 1 person is tied. That person dies, but the 5 are saved. You have 1 second to decide. Do you pull the lever? Most people say yes. 5 lives saved, 1 lost. The math seems clear. But here's the second question. Same runaway trolley. Same 5 people about to die. But this time, you're on a bridge above the track. Standing next to you is a large stranger. If you push him off the bridge, his body will stop the trolley. 5 people live. He dies. Same math. 1 death saves 5. Do you push him? Most people say absolutely not. And that difference between pulling a lever and pushing a person has occupied philosophers, neuroscientists, psychologists, lawyers, and artificial intelligence engineers for over half a century. Because what it reveals about the human mind is one of the strangest mysteries in all of science. Section 2. The story begins. The trolley problem didn't start as a problem about trolleys. It started as a problem about abortion. The year was 1967. Oxford University. A British philosopher named Philippa Foot was working on a paper about the ethics of abortion and whether there's ever a moral difference between killing and letting die. She needed a thought experiment, a hypothetical scenario stripped of emotional complexity, political baggage, and personal history. Something clean enough to isolate the question she was really asking. She invented the trolley. Foot's original version was relatively simple. She called it a way to test the doctrine of double effect, a principle in moral philosophy that says there's a difference between harm you intend and harm that's an unintended side effect of something you do for a good reason. In the trolley scenario, if you pull the lever, the 1 person's death is a side effect of saving 5. You didn't aim at them. You aimed at diverting the trolley. Their death was an unfortunate consequence. Is that morally different from actively killing someone? Foot thought the answer was yes. And she thought most people would agree. She was right. Most people do pull the lever. But then, in 1985, another philosopher entered the case. Judith Jarvis Thomson, also a woman, notably, in a field still heavily dominated by men, took Foot's trolley and added the bridge. The bridge scenario changed everything. Because in the bridge version, the math is identical. 1 death saves 5, but almost nobody pushes the stranger. And the question that sent shockwaves through academic philosophy was suddenly unavoidable. Why? If 5 lives are worth more than 1, and pulling the lever proves you believe that, then why won't you push the man? The logic is the same. The outcome is the same. The numbers are the same. Something else is different. But what? That mystery launched 50 years of investigation. And the answers that emerged are deeply, uncomfortably revealing about what human morality actually is. Section 3. The evidence. Let's examine the evidence. Because philosophers didn't just argue about this. Scientists ran experiments. Neuroscientists scanned brains. Psychologists tested thousands of people across dozens of cultures. And what they found rewrote the understanding of how human moral judgment actually works. First piece of evidence. The numbers are remarkably consistent. Starting in the early 2000s, philosopher Joshua Green and psychologist Jonathan Haidt began running systematic studies on the trolley problem. They tested thousands of people, different ages, different countries, different cultural backgrounds, different religious beliefs. The results were striking in their consistency. Roughly 85 to 90% of people say they would pull the lever in the standard scenario. Save 5, sacrifice 1. The math wins. But in the footbridge scenario, pushing the large stranger off the bridge, the numbers flip. Roughly 85% say they would not push him, even knowing 5 people will die. Same logic, same numbers, opposite answer. And this pattern held up across cultures that had very different moral traditions, different religions, different views on the value of individual life versus the collective. The gap between pull and push appeared everywhere. But that's where things became genuinely strange. Second piece of evidence, the brain scans. Joshua Green didn't just count responses. He put people in fMRI machines, brain scanners, while they thought through trolley scenarios. And he found something that, at the time, was revolutionary. The two scenarios activated different parts of the brain. When people considered the lever scenario, the impersonal, mechanical version, the areas of the brain associated with rational calculation lit up. The prefrontal cortex, the parts that handle logic, planning, and deliberate decision-making. When people considered the footbridge scenario, pushing a person with their own hands, a completely different system activated. The limbic system, the areas associated with emotion. Specifically, the same regions that activate when people feel disgust, fear, and social violation. Two identical ethical problems. Two different brain systems responding. Green's interpretation was controversial but compelling. He argued that human moral judgment isn't a single unified system. It's a conflict between two competing systems, a fast, emotional, gut-level system that reacts to personal contact and violation, and a slow, rational, calculating system that does arithmetic on outcomes. Pull the lever, rational system wins. Easy math, no personal contact, no emotional alarm. Push the person, emotional system wins. The physical act of using another human being as a tool triggers something primal. Something that says, no matter what the math tells you, this is wrong. Then investigators discovered something even more unexpected. Third piece of evidence. The trolley problem reveals the hidden architecture of real-world law. Here's something most people don't know. The moral intuitions exposed by the trolley problem aren't just philosophical curiosities. They're embedded in actual legal systems. In actual court decisions, a doctor can administer pain medication to a terminally ill patient knowing it might hasten death, because the intent is to relieve suffering and the death is an unintended side effect. That's the lever. But a doctor cannot give a lethal injection to end a patient's life directly, even to prevent greater suffering, in most legal jurisdictions. That's the bridge. Same outcome, different moral and legal status. Military law has a version too. Collateral damage, civilians killed as an unintended side effect of striking a legitimate military target, is treated very differently from deliberately targeting civilians. Even if the numbers are the same, the trolley problem isn't abstract. It's the hidden framework underneath some of the most consequential decisions human beings make. Fourth piece of evidence. The trolley problem broke artificial intelligence. In 2014, a team at MIT launched the Moral Machine, a massive online experiment that presented millions of people around the world with trolley problem-style scenarios involving self-driving cars. The question, when a self-driving car's brakes fail and it has to choose between hitting pedestrians or swerving into a barrier and killing the passenger, how should it decide? Millions of people participated. The data was extraordinary, and the findings were deeply uncomfortable. People's preferences weren't universal. They varied significantly by country, by culture, by region. In some cultures, people strongly preferred to protect passengers over pedestrians. In others, the opposite. In some regions, people showed clear preferences for saving younger people over older ones, for saving professionals over unemployed people. The hidden truth the Moral Machine exposed. There is no universal moral algorithm. There is no single correct answer that all humans agree on. The trolley problem, at scale, revealed that moral intuitions are not just varied. They're systematically different across cultures in ways that matter for real technology decisions. Self-driving cars have to be programmed to make trolley problem choices. And there is no global consensus on what the right answers are. That's not a philosophical problem anymore. That's an engineering problem. Right now, happening today. Section 4, Theories. This is where the investigation gets most contested. Because the trolley problem doesn't just reveal what people do. It forces us to ask what they should do. And the major moral theories in philosophy give radically different answers. Theory 1. Utilitarianism. Always pull the lever, always push the man. Utilitarianism is the moral theory that says the right action is the one that produces the greatest good for the greatest number. It was developed most famously by Jeremy Bentham and John Stuart Mill in the 18th and 19th centuries. For a utilitarian, the trolley problem is not a problem at all. It's simple arithmetic. 5 is more than 1. Say 5. Every time. Whether you pull a lever or push a person is irrelevant. What matters is the outcome. The strength of this theory, it's consistent. It doesn't let emotions override logic. It produces a clear, actionable answer in every scenario. The weakness: it can justify almost anything if the math works out. Push the innocent bystander. Harvest one healthy person's organs to save 5 patients waiting for transplants. Execute an innocent person to prevent a riot that would kill dozens. Utilitarianism says yes to all of these, and most people's moral instincts say absolutely not. The organ harvest scenario, kill one healthy person to save 5 dying patients, is the medical version of the footbridge. Theory 2. Deontology. Never push the man, regardless of the math. Deontological ethics, associated most powerfully with the 18th century philosopher Immanuel Kant, says that morality is about rules and duties, not outcomes. Some actions are simply wrong, regardless of their consequences. Kant's most famous principle: never treat a person merely as a means to an end. People have inherent dignity. You cannot use them as tools, even to save lives. Pushing the large stranger uses him as a tool. His body is the mechanism. He is the means. That violates his dignity in a fundamental way that pulling a lever does not. Under Kant's framework, pull the lever if you must. The one person's death is a tragic side effect of a defensible action. But never push the man. That's murder by definition, regardless of how many lives it saves. The strength: it protects individual rights absolutely. It explains why the gut reaction against pushing the man feels so powerful, because it's tracking something real about human dignity. The weakness: it can produce terrible outcomes. If you must never use a person as a means, then you cannot push the man even if the 5 people on the track are children and the person on the bridge is a convicted serial killer. The math never enters the equation. For many people, that feels morally wrong in a different direction. Theory 3. Moral intuitionism. Your gut is smarter than you think. This theory takes a step back from both frameworks and asks, what if our moral intuitions aren't just emotions to be overridden by logic? What if they're tracking something real that neither utilitarianism nor deontology fully captures? Jonathan Haidt, one of the researchers who studied the trolley problem empirically, argues that moral reasoning is mostly post hoc rationalization. We feel something is right or wrong first, instinctively, in milliseconds. Then we construct reasons. Our revulsion at pushing the man isn't a failure of logic. It's a signal from thousands of years of evolutionary and cultural development about what kinds of actions poison trust, break communities apart, and make human civilization impossible. A world where people push strangers off bridges, even for good arithmetic reasons, is a world where nobody feels safe near a bridge. The strength: it explains why the emotional response is so universal and so resistant to rational argument. It takes seriously the possibility that moral intuitions are data, not noise. The weakness: intuitions have been badly wrong before. History is full of cases where the moral intuition of entire populations was deeply, catastrophically mistaken. Intuition alone, without rational scrutiny, has justified atrocities. Theory 4. Virtue ethics. The question is who you become, not what you do. The oldest framework in Western philosophy, going back to Aristotle, virtue ethics says moral questions shouldn't be answered by asking, what produces the best outcome, or what rule applies here, but by asking, what would a person of good character do? Applied to the trolley problem, the relevant question isn't whether to pull or push. It's what kind of person you are in the act of deciding. Do you remain calm and clear-headed? Do you feel the weight of what you're doing? Do you act from genuine care for the people involved? A person of truly good character might pull the lever with grief. They would not push the man, because using another person as a physical instrument crosses a line that good character recognizes, even without a philosophical theory to explain it. The strength: it matches how most people actually experience moral dilemmas. Not as calculation problems, but as moments that test and reveal character. The weakness: it doesn't give clear answers in novel situations. What would a virtuous person do? Is hard to answer when nobody has ever faced that exact situation before, which is precisely the condition that self-driving car engineers and AI designers are in right now. Section 5. The most likely answer here's what the full body of evidence actually shows. There is no single correct answer to the trolley problem. Not because the question is unanswerable, but because the question is actually doing something more important than finding an answer. It's revealing the structure of human moral thinking. And that structure is not what philosophers assumed for most of history. For centuries, the dominant assumption was that morality is, or should be, a unified, consistent system. Either consequentialist, outcomes are what matter, or deontological, rules are what matter. Pick a framework, apply it consistently, derive your answers. What the trolley problem evidence shows is that this is not how human moral cognition actually works. We have two systems: an emotional, fast, contact-sensitive system that responds to personal violations of dignity with revulsion, regardless of the math, and a rational, slow, outcome-focused system that runs calculations and produces utilitarian answers. Both systems are tracking something real. The emotional system is right that there's a meaningful difference between using someone as a tool and accepting an unintended side effect. The rational system is right that outcomes matter and 5 lives are not equivalent to 1. Neither system is wrong. They're measuring different things. And the deepest hidden truth of the trolley problem, the thing that 50 years of investigation has made unmistakably clear, is that morality is not a single thing. It's a negotiation between emotion and reason, between rules and outcomes, between individual dignity and collective welfare, between what we feel and what we calculate. The reason the trolley problem is still being argued about, still being studied, still being programmed into AI systems and taught in every philosophy course in the country, is that this negotiation has no permanent resolution. Every time circumstances change, the negotiation starts again. And the honest answer to what should you do is, it depends on which part of your moral architecture you trust more in this specific situation. That's not a cop-out. That's the most accurate description of what human morality is. Section 6. Conclusion. Here's what I keep coming back to after this investigation. Philippa Foot invented the trolley problem in 1967 to settle a philosophical argument about abortion. She never expected it to become the most widely studied thought experiment in the history of ethics. She never expected it to be scanned in fMRI machines, or tested across 40 countries, or turned into a global survey about self-driving cars, or built into the decision trees of artificial intelligence that will, in the coming decades, make life and death choices on real roads in real time. She just wanted to isolate a question cleanly. She isolated something much bigger. She found the crack in the foundation of human morality, the place where our two moral systems, gut and logic, emotion and calculation, Kant and Mill, collide head-on and produce opposite answers to the same problem. And what lives in that crack is genuinely unresolved. Not because we haven't thought hard enough, not because we haven't collected enough data, but because the crack reflects something true about the structure of morality itself. There is no master algorithm, no universal formula, no answer that satisfies everyone, everywhere, always, which creates a problem that is, right now, not theoretical. Self-driving cars are being programmed. AI systems are being designed to make allocation decisions in medical emergencies. Autonomous weapons are being developed that will make targeting decisions without human input in real time. All of these systems need trolley problem answers baked in. Someone is making those choices right now. In corporate boardrooms, in government committees, in the code of algorithms that will eventually govern machines making life and death decisions. And they don't have the answer, because the answer doesn't exist. What they have, what we all have, is the negotiation. The ongoing, uncomfortable, necessary wrestling between what we feel and what we calculate. Between individual dignity and collective welfare. Between the person in front of us and the 5 people we can't see. Foot threw a thought experiment into the world. It's been running for over 50 years. It's infected every serious field of human knowledge. And the trolley is still moving. Nobody has pulled the lever yet.